Good day everybody. In this video, we will be talking about the cell structures, plasma or cell membrane, and the cell junctions. Ideas about cell structure have changed considerably over the years. Early biologists saw cells as simple membranous sacs containing fluids and a few floating particles. But in today's biologists, they know that cells are infinitely more complex than this. Every cell in the body is enclosed by a cell membrane. The cell membrane separates the material outside the cell, or the extracellular, from the materials inside the cell, known as the intracellular. It maintains the integrity of a cell and controls passage of materials into and out of the cell. All materials within a cell must have an access to the cell membrane for the needed exchange. The nucleus, formed by a nuclear membrane around the fluid nucleoplasm, is the control center of the cell. Threads of chromatin in the nucleus contains deoxyribonucleic acid, or the DNA, the genetic material of the cell, while on the other hand, the nucleolus is a dense region of ribonucleic acid, or RNA, in the nucleus and is the site of ribosome formation. The nucleus determines how the cell will function as well as the basic structure of the cell. The cytoplasm is the gel-like fluid inside the cell. It is the medium for chemical reaction. It provides a platform upon which other organelles can operate within the cell. All of the functions for cell expansion, growth, and replications are carried out in the cytoplasm of the cell. Within the cytoplasm, materials move by diffusion, or a physical process that can work only for short distances. Cytoplasmic organelles are little organs that are suspended in the cytoplasm of the cell. Each type of organelle has a defined structure and a specific role in the function of the cell. Examples of cytoplasmic organelles are mitochondrion, ribosomes, endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi apparatus, and the lysosomes. As I've mentioned earlier, plasma membrane, or also known as the cell membrane, is the membrane found in all cells, and it separates the interior of the cell from the outside environment. In bacterial and plant cells, the cell wall is attached to the plasma membrane on its outside surface. The plasma membrane consists of a bilayer of lipid that is semi-permeable. The plasma membrane regulates the transport of materials entering and exiting the cell. The plasma membrane provides protection for the cell. It also provides a fixed environment inside the cell. That membrane have several different functions. One is to transport nutrients into the cell and also to transport toxic substances out of the cell. Another thing is that membranes of the cell, which would be the plasma membrane, will have proteins on it which interacts with other cells. Those proteins can be glycoprotein, meaning there's a sugar and a protein moiety. Or they could be lipid proteins, meaning there's a fat and a protein. Cell junctions are a class of cellular structures consisting of multi-protein complexes that provides contact or adhesion between neighboring cells or between a cell and an extracellular matrix in the animals. They also maintain the paracellular barriers of epithelia and controls paracellular transport. First type of cell junction is the occluding junction. This type of junction greatly restricts the passage of water, electrolytes, and other small molecules across the epithelium. Transmembrane proteins from each cell membrane interlock across the intercellular space all around the cell and its belt. The next type of cell junction is the so-called adhering junctions. Epithelial cells are held together by strong anchoring junctions. The adherence junctions lies below the tight junction. In the gap between two cells, there's a protein called cadherin, or a cell membrane glycoprotein. The cadherins from adjacent cells interacts to zipper up the two cells together. Desmosomes and hemidesmosomes. Desmosomes connects two cells together. A desmosomes is also known as a spot desmosomes or macula adherens because it is circular or spot-like in outline and not belt or band-shaped like the adherens junctions. Desmosomes are particularly common in epithelia that need to withstand abrasion. Desmosomes are also found in cardiac cells, but the intermediate filament in the case is desmin and not keratin. While hemidesmosomes, these look similar to desmosomes, but are different in function and content. They connect the basal surface of epithelial cells via intermediate filaments to the underlying basal lamina. The transmembrane proteins of hemidesmosomes are not adherins, but another type of protein called integrin. Last but not the least is the gap junctions. A group of protein molecules or connexins form a structure called the connexons. When connexon cells align, they form a continuous channel between them. This channel is big enough to allow small molecules such as inorganic ions and other small water-soluble molecules to pass between the cell. However, the channel is too small for proteins, nucleic acids, or sugars to pass through.